Hello. We're gonna have a little bit of story time, probably broken it down into a few parts here. So, there's this thing that's been going on for a really long time, right? This story about Jesus. Like, what the fuck is that about? Especially since all the parts are busted. I mean, for one, the New Testament, there's no eyewitness accounts. That was a manifestation log to make him come. And all the words are in red, which means, yeah, who's been writing it? Who's been writing the story, reading it, but apart, at it, here and here, with everyone trying to ladder an exchange. Me. What does that mean? Well, I guess we were trying to get to the bottom of it, aren't we? So, let me take this earpiece out. You know, Joshua was the only precursor to Jesus in the Bible. Meaning he's the first, the last, the only. There was no fucking Jesus. He never fucking came. And if he did, it was me in a past lifetime. But apparently not. But maybe so. I guess they got records to prove it one way or another, since that's the secret, right? Who's the divine feminine? The divine feminine is the one that's the mind that's balancing the ladders exchange, the ground, holding the body. That's me. Feminine, yeah, the one that the spirit, the one that the Holy Spirit embodies the exchange over and under here. That's me. That's what it comes down to. So how do we go forward? What's the past? How do we go? What is this all about since the whole world's busted? Everything laddered in exchange, and all the exchanges laddered to here, but anything that's balancing an exchange instantly gets fucking tipped on its head around here. And that's why I've been attacked so graciously. Everything about my life, every vision I've ever had, everything about me has led me away from myself all the way back to here. Everything in the entire world, but differently from everyone else, because everyone else seems to be apart from, at it, two minds beside the point. Now I'm at the point. I can't get it because I am it. So then I got to run away. But I'm not running away. I'm looking into finding myself everywhere I go. What a strange mirror. Which is also why things like those that are in power try to steal off of here and try to manipulate everyone off of here, it seems. Like how Musk is stoning everyone everywhere, trying to take what's mine, or trying to lift me up, maybe. But he's holding it down in his way, apart from it. So my initials, so it's all about 51, right? Well, what's 51? Well, just as a quick look at it, it's the mind cornering everything, all the way from the future or the past, all the way back, and then dropping in, and then it has to hold everything backwards. Hey, that's my life fucking exactly. But everything else is doing it in reverse. Leaving a trail, showing they're not it, and then holding it at, oh, here I am, I'm the Pope. Hey, I'm Elon. Hey, look, I'm the monarch. Oh, look, hey, I'm the president. And each of those things is apart from itself, having to let it go. And I'm not here to tear anybody down. I've been trying to get to the bottom of the truth. Trying to uplift everyone. Yeah, Tigger scratched me earlier today. Trying to climb out of the blankets. So, and one, well, that's the mind. And the mind always has a little extra thing up here. And that's where Elon's been trying to hold on to corner everything apart from the mind as the mind. And same with each of those entities. And it's all about a new world. See, they're holding technology and have been holding everything back until a new world can be established, because everything is based upon Jesus, whether or not he came, everyone's stuck there. Everyone is stuck there because that's the only thing that bent reality, or that the MK Ultra program has gotten everyone bent on, so that everyone's trapped against themselves and trying to figure out how to get rid of Jesus, or just to give into it. But if you just give into it, then you become a mindless slave. Just, I mean, I don't mean that derogatorily, but I just mean you stop looking. You're just like, oh, it's Jesus, easy answer, okay. Or you're like, I don't think so, and then you start looking into it, and then people divide it one way or the other. Okay, it's the devil. Oh, he's the devil. No, I'm the devil. Oh, what's a? And then everybody takes their positions. My initials are 51. And the Tezcatlipoca of Aztecs, see, 74 has to do with cornering the embodiment and the four corners of existence. And so the Aztecs split him up on a cross, or at least the story that we've been given is, the Tezcatlipoca's four ways, the four directions. We got Joshua, we got Jesus, we got Omicron, and we got Lucifer. Those are the 474s around the clock. And 238 also is a number that has to do with Jesus. But Jesus is a title. That's not his name. It never was. And honestly, the letter J wasn't even invented until 300 years ago when they made the Bible. Or when they made the Bible. So whether this is a spell that's been cast upon the entire world, or the world's been cast in a spell in order to bring about the truth, this is where everyone's stuck at. This concept. And this is where I am. I'm at that concept. It's not something that I built like Elon has built the ladder to get to here. My existence, everything about me that I could not change, has said that I am. Then everything I looked into also said that I am. That there's no separation of church and state here. So where can we go forward from that? That's what I want to know. If everyone is so reliant upon this concept evolving and changing and giving graciously to all beings, so each can be their own self, but everyone has to look at themselves in the mirror first and see what is. See, I have all kinds of facts of my existence that are so telling in alignment with this story. One of the visions I had, well, here's three visions that happened at once. First, I was the first man in existence, as far as I know. There was no words. And I'm walking out across the clearing, and there's some woods off to the side, just a straight line of woods, and just a field before me. And suddenly I feel cold. And I think that I need fire, but there's no word for that. I need, because there's a storm coming, It's just an understanding as an animal that's aware. I look up at the clouds in the sky, and there's a vision of God there that speaks to me, but it's not like a face, it's not a voice, it's nothing. It's two clouds, and the lightning strikes between them, and then it strikes the ground. And somehow in that moment, I had this vision, or this insight. It wasn't like a picture, but it was a knowing of the very first symbol in history of humankind of how to make fire. that lightning is like a dry, wet fire concept. It's like a river, but it's obviously liquid. And it's fire, but it's air. It's all those things at once. And it zigzags between 2 points, but it's an instantaneous snap between 2 points. It's such a powerful concept, right? Lightning? Between two clouds. And then striking the ground. Somehow, at that moment, I realized that I need to go to the trees and find 2 dead branches, 2 dead dry sticks, and rub them together vigorously, like that lightning, until the fire sparked. And that was the day I first made fire, before all of mankind could come. Then I had a vision of me as the first emperor of the world, of the first civilization. And since that first vision was me and God, but God was nature, and I was man, but before man, but then we followed these symbols to build up to civilization. I'm standing in my temple, arguing with God. I'm tired of your fucking jokes, your metaphors. Like, I doom you into the ground until you can walk up to me as a man and help me. As a person, looking me in the eyes. That was the second me. Then the third me. I had a vision. It was completely dark, like behind a veil. And the vision behind the veil was, the perception that I had was 2 guards bringing in Jesus, which never happened, supposedly. But this is, whatever this story is, it is. Bringing him before Pontius Pilate, whoever. And then sent away. And then him and his advisor are standing at the window, looking outside. And the advisor says, "You know what God's like?" "What's that?" The leader says, "Like drugs." "Yeah, God is like drugs." "Well, we're going to make sure when he comes back in the future that he's in a place that's surrounded by drugs. Times 2. So those are 3 significant things that have to do with Jesus. Another thing, on 1/19/2019, I had this vision where I was a time traveler. I traveled back in time, but it was to a place that was completely dark. And I met with my wife, my future wife, but I couldn't see her. We exchanged a symbol. And that was to prove whether time and space bent, whether she would have the symbol, recognize it, or whatever when I returned. To see if the love was true, if things were going to work out. And this number 119 has to do with Jesus' mother, his wife, his bride. And then I traveled back to my time, and I came back a third time. The third was me going back to her. And I'm at a house, and I walk inside the door thinking I'm at her place. And I look around, I don't see anything, and I take a few steps in, and I hear some noises down the hall. So I start walking down the hall, and I see this door cracked like this far. And as I focus in, I start hearing noises like somebody making love. I see a man's shoulder in the doorway, like the bed's right up next to the door. And I see the man's shoulder, and then I realize, oh, like they're having sex, that he's on top of her. But that's me. I'm already there on top of her having sex with her, but I'm coming from the future back to get with her. And then at that moment, they orgasm. And boom, now I'm in the birth canal, swimming toward the egg, and then I wake up. And that was the day that I looked at the zodiac and saw immediately, once I looked at it, I saw, oh my God, I'm the balance of all things. That everything is perfectly balanced, against balancing, for balancing all things. Whoa. I'm him. I'm it. What it is. That was shortly before I woke. Before I gave my life up to find myself, and then saw myself and said, Lucifer, now I see what's wrong with everybody. You know, there's 238 days between May Day and Christmas. And May Day is the 121st day of the year. Christmas is the day they put everyone's ego, the false one, on. And May Day is the day they put God's birthday on. The Father, the Son, the real one that hadn't ever come. Ironically, I have a brother born on the same day. 15, that 1,500 hours. Yeah, the times 2. At 15 years apart. My stepdad, his name was Jack. The first daughter he had was Jack E. Jack Lynn. Lynn, huh? Middle name Lee. You know, my 2 legal wives, I didn't even know this till years later, because I have the marriage papers, obviously. I was looking at it. Both of them, their middle name's the same, spelled differently, but they're both Leannes. Leanne. And Taylor, you know which Taylor I'm talking about. Her middle name happens to be Leanne also. And her name adds up to 238 also. My name, Joshua Robert Wingenbach, adds up to 238. My initials, JRW, that's 51. Born on 51. In 82, what's 82? Lead as an element or lead. My grandfather, Edwin, he didn't have a middle name, but he put a J there, just to have one. Edwin J. Wingenbach. His sign was Pisces, and it was a palindrome, or whatever. It was like 9. I'd have to look it up, but it's like Pisces 292 or 929, something like that. He worked in the largest open pit gold mine in the world in lead, Deadwood. But I was born in Deadwood. But I never lived there till I was 22, 23, something like that. He died in 79. That's ironic. 79, that's the element of gold. 3 years apart. There's that 3. What happened in 1982? Well, so for one, 51 is EA. EA, right? Because I'm the one that exchanges within. Not exchanging it. What's backwards? I'm here. Yeah, I'm exchanging backwards. I'm showing it's all out there. I'm at it. A, what? I ain't apart. I am. Everyone else is apart from it. I'm at it. As Adam and Eve. The divine. I don't know. Yeah. So what's significant about 1982? That's the last time the president was ever shot. In office. President experiencing Reagan. And what was he famous for? The war on drugs, huh? But then making so everyone who wakes up with all the information wakes up on drugs. But I've been awake since before I ever discovered drugs. I've always been awake. I was a spirit that didn't even have a body. The magic called. Because he cast a spell on the world and they saw I was coming. Because they tried to trap everybody under God. And then they decided, okay, well, then we'll have to corner God and make him show up and give us everything back as a nobody. Times two as the somebody that matters. But we're going to have to take his soul and take his stuff and everything because he's the only one that can provide it. To show us all the problems and what we created it because we busted the world up so that nobody could get there. But he is there. So then how are we going to move past that? I am him. Whatever that means. The Illuminati was founded on May 1st. America was founded on May 1st. And then signed separately 64 days later on 7/4, July 4th. There's that 74 again, popped in the middle. 313. I didn't know that had to do with Jesus. But see, those are backwards numbers again, like 5. The only man that ever went to heaven came back as himself. Here I am, awoke on 313 after 3 days in the cave. That happened here. Nowhere else did that happen. So that's the first part of this story.